Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. You join me down at our storage yard. Now, thinking of storage yards, most of us can't get by without having somewhere to store our caravan or motorhome securely. But when it comes to washing them, it can be a completely different ball game, because some will supply taps or wash bays and some won't. Very few, if any, will supply a power supply. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a little setup that I've got in front of me now, where we can wash our caravan with limited power, limited water, i.e. an aqua roll, and get a good result. Now, this isn't a full valet of a caravan, this is just sprucing it up. So we're going to assume that you've already had it cleaned fully for the beginning of the season, and this is a freshen up before you go away on your next trip. So let's take a look at the kit we're going to be using. So let's start off with what I've put together, and you can do something very similar. It doesn't have to be exact. So first of all, we've got a full aqua roll, 40 litres. Now if you've got a bigger aqua roll, that's great, you'll get a bit more water out of it. But we've filled it right to the top, it's literally brimmed. And we've also got some warm water as well. Now I've got access at my storage yard to warm water, which is great, but you could always bring it from home if you don't live too far away. On top of the actual aqua roll, we've got a detail brush, which I always use in my videos, I show you, a sponge, and today's cleaning product is going to be Wash Wizard. Love this stuff, super concentrated, does leave a nice shine on afterwards and helps repel the dirt. So we're going to be using that. In front we've got a microfiber pad on a pole. We've got a bucket, and right in the front, if it's in short, is some spare hose. Now everybody says, oh, don't use blue hose. It doesn't matter, because that is an old piece that I've had lying around from when I cut my truma pipe down. There's a video to that somewhere on the channel, which I'll leave a link to later. Now we've also got some wax solution if we choose to use that, and then in front of us here we've actually got what's the key part, and that is a pump. This is the Whale high flow pump. Now you can buy these online, I will leave a link to them, but you can buy other variants of them and they work off 12 volt. Now moving on to that, we need a 12 volt power supply, so let's take a look at what we've got. So the power supply that we're going to be using for this video is the Falcon power station, and making use of its 12 volt socket, which will supply us the power to the pump. Now one thing I did leave off the list is obviously a coupler for your hosepipe system. You also might need some steps as well. So that's the kit that we're going to be using. I'm going to set it all up now and show you how it all works so you can have a go yourself. Remember, like I said, with the Whale pump that we've got here, you can buy alternatives that work off 12 volt as well. So have a scour on the internet. I'll try and leave a few examples below in the description. So we're set up now. We've got the submersible Whale pump inside our aqua roll, and we've got it to the bottom and allowed the water to fill into it. Now with the Wash Wizard, I use 4 caps for just over 5 litres of water. You probably get away with probably 2 or 3, but I like plenty of suds when I'm cleaning. I like it to grip the dirt and get rid of it. Now, as I wanted the Falcon power station away from the water, which is what you should do, I have used an extension cord for the 12 volt. Now I've connected the hose pipe to the main Whale pipe pump, and what we're going to do now is we're just going to go to the back of the caravan where we're going to start, and I'm going to explain something about the spray gun that you're going to use. Okay, so there's a couple of examples here. These are okay, but you have to adjust them a lot, and I find them a bit of a faff and they are time consuming, so I generally use that as a backup. What I like to use is this. It's the big hose lock one. I like the plastic one. I didn't want the metal one because if you clunk it on the side of the van you could scratch your van, so I went for a plastic one, and as you can see this is quite weathered. But what I like about it the most is you've got settings on the top which are ideal, especially in this particular circumstance, because to rinse any muck off before we start, we're going to go to a fine mist, which is that setting there. So let's get on with the actual cleaning now, and I'll talk to you towards the end. So we've got it on the fine mist setting, and we're just going to quickly give it a quick rinse. Try and get some of the muck off before we crack on and clean. Now, I'm using the fine mist one basically because I don't want to use too much water. But at the same time, we still have to rinse it down before we put our soap on. So, let's get the soap. Now, as I said before, this isn't really a cleaning video. This is just a video of showing you how you can clean your caravan with limited water. And to be honest, it's probably the biggest problem that most people have, especially at storage yards. But if you can get a method, something similar to what I've got, then you'll find that it'll work really well. And it's also saves you a lot of water. So it's quite environmentally friendly, really, isn't it? So I like to go around the lights with the brush and get all the crap out from in between the gaps, and it tends to do a good job. As I've said in other videos, also around these bike rack mounts, I wish I didn't have these on because I'm never going to put a bike on there as far as I can see. Around the decals as well, because sometimes it can stick. And the badge. Okay, so that's the back done. What we're going to do is we're going to rinse off with the, again, with the misting section and see how well that does. If you're not happy with it and it's not rinsing properly, what you can always do is change it to the next one. Let's go for that one. That's better. The fan spray disperses the water a lot quicker and you can soon get it done. Nice and rinsed off. And I know we've hardly used any water just to do this. So I know I've got plenty left to finish the van off. So I'm going to put some wax on mine now, so come back in a moment and I'll show you something else. So we're at the front of the van now and we're going to be cleaning it, and as you can see, hopefully, there's a big dollop of bird poo on the front, so we're going to have to get rid of that. Now, we could just spray some water on it and then hope that warm water lifts it, but I like to use Caravan Magic's power spray. I have it in a big pump spray, but you can use it in a hand spray bottle as well. Always read the label because it's quite powerful stuff. It needs to be diluted properly. Now we are doing, like I said, a freshen up, so I'm not going to be lifting the windows and cleaning the window rubbers on this occasion because it has had a decent valet at the beginning of the season, like I said. So let's freshen up the front now. I'm going to use my crud buster. And it does help if you have a ladder as well, a step ladder. Don't overreach on it, just let the pump, if you're using this, do it. You might have to swap sides, like I'm going to do. Now with the front, I don't know about you, but I like to start at the top and do the actual sunroof area and this graphic panel. Get that all nice and clean and sorted, and then I like to work my way down the actual front. Just do it in stages, especially when it's hot like today, you're in direct sunlight. Do it in small bite-sized pieces and you'll get less smears and streaks. now. So we've rinsed off and now it's time to dry off. Now I've already gone over it off camera with the actual mop brush, microfiber one, but I like to have another go with the sponge as well, me. Just make sure we're getting all the nooks and crannies, getting all nice and clean. Now I don't know about you, whether you're a 2-bucket person, one you rinse off and you sponge and then put it back into your soap. I'll be honest with you, with these modern day cleaning products now, I don't think there's a need for it, but if you do, that's fine. I just stick to the one. Just quickly clean this airframe, it's looking a little bit grotty. I've been naughty really, I haven't had the cover on over the airframe for a while, which I should do. But it's been playing up, so clips keep coming off. So moving on to the sides, especially in the hot weather like this, what I like to do is section it. So we're going to start from the end here and work to this window edge here. Then we're going to concentrate on cleaning the next section, which will be just past the fridge vents here, and then we'll finish off with the rest. Now what I like to do is wash it, rinse it, and then move on to the next. Don't worry if you've got the whole caravan completely wet. You can towel dry it down afterwards once you've finished the whole van cleaning it. So let's get on with that now. So we're just going to rinse it off. Get as much of the dust off as possible, like I said with the others. I'm going to go a bit further. I'm going to do the whole van rinse down first of all. And like I said, I'm going to wash it in sections. Remember, never point directly into your fridge vents. You don't want a soggy inside behind your fridge. There we go. It's nice and clean. I like to use the pole at the top, and then once we get past there, switch to my sponge. I find, especially when you're doing the windows, you're not putting too much pressure on them, so if there is still some grip there, it's less likely to scratch the windows. Now, if you're doing the bottom end like this, try to resist not going straight into your window again. Make sure you come right from the top all the way to the bottom. Now we've done 3 sides and we've hardly used a quarter of a tank of the Aquaroll. So now granted, my caravan's not as bad as some could be. Downwards towards the fridge vents, never upwards. There we go. So that's that section rinsed off. So we're going to crack on with the next one. Yeah, there's hardly any water being used. I'm quite impressed. So for me, this is a really good idea. Now, I did do a video on this whale pump system, oh god, 5-6 years ago, and I've still got it and it still works. So I can highly recommend it. It is a good product. So we're now rinsing off again. There we go. Right, I'm going to wax it off camera and I'm going to then give it a quick dry so we can move on to the next side. I'm not going to film the next side, I think you've seen enough really and you get the gist of what I'm trying to do. But it's not going to be a clever edit where this looks super slick and fantastic. It's just simple. I always say what it is, how it is and how it works. And if it's rubbish, it's rubbish. If it's good, it's good. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to get on and I'll see you at the end of the video. So let's see how much water we've used in terms of cleaning. So our warm water that we had before, we've got probably about 1 inch deep left in the bottom and it's still foaming. So the Wash Wizard's really performed, really pleased with that. Let's take a look at how much we've got left in the Aquaroll. I hope I can film this. So let's have a look how much water we've got left. It's a bit difficult to film. I'm having to use my phone for this, so I'm sorry if the sound's a bit rubbish, but it's roughly about there where my finger is, which if you pull back you can see it's about 1/3, and we've cleaned the Caravan with 1/3 of water. So let's switch back to big cam and have a chat. So that was my tips for actually cleaning your Caravan with very minimum water. We used 1/3 of an Aquaroll, we used just under 5 litres of water for the soap side of it for cleaning, and the power bank from Falcon used 2% of its power to power our 12-volt pump while we cleaned the Caravan. The pump itself is performing really well, like it was when I got it 5-6 years ago. I've never used it since I did the last video because I ended up with more kit that I could use, but I've come back to it for this video. It's not cheap, as everything is not cheap in this world when it comes to caravanning, but you get what you pay for, and also at the end of the day it's going to save you a lot of cash and a lot of heartache, and the fact that you have to go and tow your Caravan somewhere to get it cleaned. You can do it yourself and you know it's done right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I do hope you'll join us again real soon, but in the meantime, bye for now.